Throwback Thursday is where we show off older devices that have still made an impact on the world of e-ink. Now, we are not going to be doing this full review in the sense where we will be showing you the audio experience and everything like that, because we honestly don't care about this side. This is the LCD LED side. This is not of concern to us. Everything we're going to be doing today is on the back of the device, which is the e-ink panel. You already saw in some starting footage, but you will see that it is curved, and it's not just the actual device itself. Probably about 3 to 5% of the touch surface is curved as well. See, the curve starts right about there, which is in fact part of the touch screen at the back. Now, even though this device is pretty much off, the back is always active. It is hard to pinpoint the little lock, but once you get it going, like so, it takes 2 or 3 tries, it just starts, and this is effectively your device. Now, there are some things that we will have to use the front panel for in order to change, so we're going to look at what the front panel has in store for in regards to customizing the back, because you can see right now we're only stuck on 2 panels. As you can see, it is a regular smartphone through and through. It has all of your applications, it has drop downs, it has everything you'd need to be a smartphone. But again, we don't care about any of that. We only care about Yota Hub, and this is going to be a layer of privacy over your personal space and useful notifications, which is Yota Cover and Yota Panel, a set of screens which displays information you are most interested in. Clicking on Yota Cover, these are the covers. You see, we were only actually going between these two on the front, or I guess the front for us, which is the back of the device. But you can add some more, Google+, Facebook, IG, etc. So you are able to add more covers to the back. And if you click on them, you can choose settings, and you can select album of what you want the background to look like. You can remove, you can press back, etc. It's not very exciting, but this is what the covers looks like. Panels are more interesting, and you can see here we have some customizable options. So we can choose here, and we can remove SMS, we can remove the missed call notifications, we can remove emails whether we want to see them or not, clock, Google Google Maps, etc. And you can click here and you can go settings, and this will give you enable notifications. Basically what you see here, apply white theme, etc. And you can customize them, so you have all of your choices here, or you can choose grids, so you can have certain percentages of everything kind of spaced out. So if I choose this one, for example, and I say replace panel and press OK, I now have the 2 panels I had shown you earlier and this one that I just added in there. That's pretty much it. The LCD LED side of this review is finished. So we have this little toggle at the bottom. This will go in between your panels and your covers. You can see you have your dialer. You can press back, the back, and I guess, well, what was that did we see? This more button. These are located on the curve of the phone, so it is actually quite fun to press, and I think so at least. We can look at screenshots, you can read books, and we'll show you books in a second. So these are the differences between your panels and your covers on the back of the device. Now, you might be thinking you only have covers and panels on this device, and that is incorrect. You do have the full Android experience as well. So everything you've seen on the front of the phone that we just showed you, you have on the back of the phone, which is the most important part about this review because, well, we want to show off e-ink, we don't want to show off LCD. So everything you saw there, we do have access to. Now, the brightness doesn't do anything because this only refers to the actual back light, and this doesn't have any light, unfortunately. So we'll just go around here and look at some stuff. You can see scrolling is quite nice. They do have the same level of inertia. Now that you see that because it's just a mirror, it's not actually catered to be on the e-ink side of the screen. There's nothing to do with speed, so there's not going to be any A2 mode or speed mode or anything. All we really have is Yota energy, and that just effectively extends the battery life, but it doesn't actually speed up the phone or do anything to the refresh rate whatsoever. So even if we turn the camera on, takes a second. Now we're shooting up at the camera. You can see this is the camera, so the frame is actually pretty poor, but that's to be expected with e-ink. But you know, all things considering, it's not terrible for how old the phone is. So we have seen more advancements in e-ink recently, where we can run things like cameras and, you know, videos and stuff like that, and YouTube even. I must say, I'm digging that curve on the side. It's hard to see on camera, but as you swipe along, the curve is actually very nice to feel as you're swiping off the page while turning a page or something like that. Anyways, this is manga. So again, you can't increase the speed in any way of the device. So we're just both the speed of the page turns and the actual quality of the screen is locked. So that's essentially what you're dealing with. But because you do have the ability to use the regular Android experience except with an e-ink screen, you do have all the same functions. So you have zooms, you have, you know, taps, page turns, double taps, etc. It all does something. So that's very nice. And the quality, I must say, isn't bad, but it is what it seems like the Dark Moon was doing. It's stuck in this constant A2 mode. You can see the forever staining up top, and it's kind of just ghosted all in the middle. And this is probably to keep the speed up while still delivering the best content it can. And that's actually very evident on this screen where it's all black. That's not supposed to be there. That's all the previous page. And you can't really kick any sort of refresh unless you just do something else. Go home, you know, open a new application, etc. Again, because that staining is always kind of there, the reading experience isn't that great. So as you can see here, we do have some staining from the previous menu up there. Even though we did trigger a refresh prior to opening up this application, it is still kind of permanently stuck there. Now you can do all of your regular text augmentation and whatnot, except the brightness. That does nothing in this case. But you can increase the text size, change the fonts. You know, it's not that slow. I expected it to be a lot slower, but I also expected it to look a little better, but unfortunately it just doesn't. But it is what it is. It is an older device, and this is the Throwback Thursday, so that's why. Typing is actually also cool too, because a couple of the keys are on that curve. I really love that curve. So if I'm typing my name out like that, it doesn't miss any letters, at least if, you know, you're competently typing. But you know what? It's not bad. And you do get that haptic feedback because remember, the rear panel is leeching off of the phone, which is connected to an LED panel like a regular smartphone. So that's why all those features, you know, rotation, haptic feedback, etc., they're all there. Started digital note-taking on e-ink devices way back when with the Sony DPT-S1. Since then, they've made 2 additional devices, and a lot of other manufacturers have followed suit. Back in 2018, the Boy You Like book Mimes. That's not actually that bad. There's a little bit of, it plays catch up because the audio actually obviously comes out quicker because of the speakers don't rely on it being e-ink or not. The speakers play the audio fine, but the video trails behind a little bit. But that's not that bad for something that's 6 years old. But again, we are stuck in that forever A2 mode, which means I can't up the quality of the video. But you know what? You wouldn't want to, because then it wouldn't play properly. But that's actually not looking too bad. Like refill canister that you can replace yourself. The Supernote can run a few more formats than the Sony can, but overall it does lack a lot of functionality compared to the other ones on this list. Although there's no glow light, and it technically isn't an e-ink phone because it's just a panel on the back of a regular smartphone, the YotaPhone still holds up today, and that is the point of Throwback Thursday. Does the old device still hold up to this 2020 current standard? And we would say it does. We really hoped we really wish it would have had a glow light feature or any sort of lighting whatsoever, but it doesn't, and it is what it is. But honestly, this isn't all that bad for a device as old as it is. If you guys want to see more Throwback Thursdays, check in on Thursdays, and for Fridays we actually have Face Off Fridays where we pit 2 devices against each other. For a review of the YotaPhone, this is Peter.